So, hello. In this video, I will demonstrate a web automation project by using a robot framework. And this project automates basically two main tasks. First task is to web scraping. We need to scrap a data, and then the second task is basically a form submission. The scrap data need to be submitted in a form. So our goal is to extract what is our goal. The goal of our project is basically to extract the salary data from a sports website. This is a HoopsHype website where we need to extract the salaries data of first 5 players and along with their names. So these are the salaries and these are the name of the first 5 players, and then we need to save it to a CSV file which automatically submit each player's details to a practice form. So this is a practice form where the data of the players going to be submitted. So how I'm going to do this? Let's dive deep into how I'm going to build this particular thing. So first of all, what I'm going to do the for web scraping, I will automate the Chrome to extract the player's name and salaries from a dynamic web page. And then for data cleaning, I will process the raw data to remove unwanted characters and formatted it into a CSV. And then for form for automation to form filling, we can do is like using the scrap data, I can like build a script to fill out the form for each player with predefined date of birth. So this is a end-to-end flow mimics that going to automate task in testing or data pipelines. So after this, I'm going to let you see my code. Okay, so this is the code which I have written for Python script. For this is the script which I have written for automating the particular task. So here is the code breakdown. In the starting, I have imported required libraries. I have imported SeleniumLibrary, operating system, string and collection. So I imported SeleniumLibrary for basically SeleniumLibrary used for web automation. So that drives browser for scrapping and form submission, that will help us on that. Apart from this, if I talk about operating system, it will help us to write to a CSV file. And then string, like it help us to cleanse the salary data, that help us to remove excess part like commas and dollar and so on. After that, I have used collection that help us to manage a list of scrap data. And then I have defined a set of variables over here, you can see. So defining a variable, these variable like store the browser type, website URL. As you can see, this is our website URL, and this is a form URL which we're going to use. So browser type, I am using Chrome, so Chrome is mentioned over here. And the URL CSV file, like CSV file path, what I'm going to use, that is also I have provided the file name over here, that is mentioned. Now these are the part of variables. Now the part is key decision, like over here we'll target like specific HTML key path need to be defined. So X path selectors like target a specific HTML elements on a HoopsHype table, which I have seen from the website, website salaries table. Then I have defined this X path selector. So this is the main part of our particular project. Then the CSV file, it stores the particular data in the project directory for easy access. And then over here you can see I am defining the X path. Okay, so we use X path to basically locate players names and salary fields in the HTML table. Okay, so now this is how it look like. After that, you can see I have also predefined, these are the date of birth list which is predefined, which we need not to submit it and scrap it through the website. This is predefined over here and will automatically submit when the form is submits. And then these are the test case. This will basically scrap players data and help us to submit the form. And now what we're going to do is as as you can see now, I have mentioned over here that submit players data from CSV. This will basically process CSV and submit the forms. And close ensure is basically help, this will close browser, basically it will ensure that yeah, after the task is completed the browser will close automatically. Okay, so this close browser, that's the reason why I've used it over here. Now what is this going to do? This will initialize a browser for scrapping, like open browser to player page like this. The browser will basically open, maximizes and wait until the players names are loaded before proceeding. Okay, so this will basically going to do this. Now these two is the main core logic of, we can say, of our this code. So get players name, this function, you can see this function basically extract the first 5 players name from the web page, cleans the data and then store them into a list. So this will basically help us to help us to store the data into a list. Now main logic is I have taken skips the first row and I have taken the indexing from 1 to 6. Why so? Because as you can see over here in this website, the first row is basically the header of the table, which we don't need. We need a player's name from here. So we are going to index it from 1 to 6, not from 0 to 5. Okay, and then it uses the strip string. So basically it helps us to clean the white space from the scrapped names. And then extracting salaries, as same goes with the salaries. I have taken this function is basically help us to extract a player salary and removes extra symbols like dollar and commas which we don't require. Like as you can see, this have this dollar and comma which is not required. So this will remove and it store them into a list, same as name function is doing. Okay, now we're going to save this data to a CSV file. So for that we have create a CSV file. We have initialized CSV with the column headers and then write the first 5 players data to CSV. Okay, this will as you can see, this will extract the names and the salaries stored in a properly formatted CSV file. What this will going to basically generate a CSV file with the columns names, with the column name and the salary. And then I am using loop, is basically it help us to iterate over the first 5 player indexes from 0 to 5. This 0 to 4, this will going to do that. And then now it's a part of opening a form. Now the extraction part is done. Now the part of opening the form page is there. So for that this basically do the scripts now open the form submission page and then wait for the input fields to load. Okay, so this will do that. I have set the wait for form to load is basically of I have set it to 20 seconds. And then we are submitting a player data from CSV. Now whatever the data stored in a CSV file, now we are going to submit that data automatically in a form. So this is the part where I have taken this. This basically help us to store the data. Store the function. This function is basically help us to read a player's name from the CSV file and assign a predefined date of birth and basically help us to fill a form and submit it. Okay, it will like get a corresponding date of birth from a predefined list. As you can see, DOB list I have defined over here. That is a predefined date of birth of a player that will also going to fill in that particular form. Okay, now whatever the key features is basically reads the data and skip the header row and maps each player to predefined date of birth, that is a DOB list, which as you can see, now this will submit the form for all 5 players subsequently. This will help us to submit the field. Okay, so yeah, so for running this particular script, now I'm just going to run this particular script. For that, okay, Okay, so now for running the script using the robot framework, over here I've opened terminal and I've written the script like a robot and whatever the my file name, that is player automation dot robot. Okay, now you'll see when I'm going to run this, as you can see the browser opens in HoopsHype, that is, this is the website, and the script players, you know, names and salaries which are stored are going to stored in a CSV file. So this is you know, extracting the data now, this and this particular website. Now after, you know, scrapping the data, the browser will automatically closes and then the new browser will open for a form submission. Now the script reads the player name from the CSV file, which I am going to also show you that how the CSV file has stored the data, and then it helps us to, you know, submit it with the predefined date of birth. Now it has closes the data. Now what it's going to do, it is opening the form and you can see it is submitting one by one data of every player. Now you can see as in result the data of the players has been submitted in a form automatically, and once all entries are submitted, the script will, you know, execute it and the browser will automatically close it. So this has been done. So as you can see, this is the whole project that we have done. This basically that concludes the demonstrated. We have successfully automated web scraping and form submission by using a robot framework. Thank you.